Join in here 1 second. All right. Second. Awesome. Good. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. Today we're going to take a little bit of a break from Elliott Wave. Algo 382 will be joining us again one more time tomorrow to wrap up and look at intraday entries. We're going to kind of touch on that a little bit tonight. And kind of incorporate it with one of our favorite type of setups, right? So we love inside days. You guys always notice when I post on Twitter and I say, "Oh, inside day," right? Because it gives us a lot of clues of what's going on, right? So today we're going to be talking about day trading, inside day tactics. So this should be a fun one. Before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. So what we're going to do is we are going to take a look and see where we left off at the market here today. Then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what will be going into tomorrow and into the rest of the evening. And then we're going to go over the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. And yes, we'll do the regular lightning round that we normally do for chart requests tonight. So good stuff. So let's get started. All right, so SPX monthly chart. So inside month so far, but still green. Down 22 points today, but it wasn't. It really wasn't like a flush type day or anything like that. We were kind of expecting a little bit of a pullback here off of this move, right? Weekly chart, a big week last week. Got an upper shadow so far. 3 trading days left this week, and it gave us an inside day this week. So really cool stuff. So we'll see if they have in store for tomorrow. The last inside day we gapped above it and kept going. So we may open inside that range, but that could give us some good clues. Which we'll use in potentially some of these tactics here today could help us trade that tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on that there. Let's say with the intraday price action today. So today was pretty interesting, right? It was kind of, like I said, it was chop, it was slop, and then they did a pop, right? So then, so we basically had a little bit of a dip buy there today. Triple inside 15 here. They kind of brought it down a little bit, but again, still choppy in that area right there. We got one move down, and they held yesterday's lows really nicely, right? So it was a nice lower shadow off of yesterday's lows, and that kind of was a good dip buy right there to get us at least back to the 15 orb low before they push it down into the close. These are the levels that we provide to our members before each market opens. You can see they're a little bit more in play today. We stayed choppy here between one of our weekly levels. Big volume level here today. That ended up being ultimately a good shorting area right here. We tested it again before pushing back down. So we need to still get the bulls need to step up a little bit tomorrow to try to push us up over today's high and over possibly yesterday's high if they want to be strong off of this inside day. Let's take a look at the futures and see how they're behaving here this evening or misbehaving. So we have that going on here. So let's take a look and see. So a couple of the signal zones came in play today. These are our supply and demand zones that we like to use on the futures. Again, guys, combining different methods is really helpful. Using Elliott Wave, using supply and demand, using market profile, things like that really help us trade not only the futures, but when we can trade the futures, right? We can trade SPY options, SPX options, things like that really nicely, right? So today we were kind of expecting interesting move. One of the things we said at the open, we're like, okay, so the overnight inventory like yesterday, the overnight was kind of blah, right? So we were thinking maybe the bulls would step up a little bit today. The banks were closed yesterday, right? So the Fed was closed yesterday, so we figured they'd start buying again today. And a little bit of a move at the open, right? We got a nice little dip by here off of the overnight geometric line. And so we got a little dip by here, a little dip by here, and then a little bit of a dip by there, and then they finally lost it right here once we lost the signal zone. So we said if we lost the signal zone, there's a good chance we test the next one below. We waited for the retrace right here. We got a nice move down, and then they bought the dip at the close. So that's kind of the action here today. Let's take a look here. Again, obviously we've got this big geometric line up here to think about going into tomorrow, but let's take a look and just kind of see what it's doing right here. So pretty steep line right here, but if it holds this all night, that would be pretty interesting. Or they might just kind of go sideways tonight. A flat open tomorrow wouldn't be a horrible thing because then we should get a little bit more direction. Because I definitely like it when we open a little bit more flat and they don't take all the meat off the bone overnight and start to give us a little bit bigger moves intraday, right? So that's always fun too. So let's see how it holds this geometric line, see how it holds this one going into tomorrow, and then we'll see where we go from there. So good stuff. So today we're gonna be talking about day trading inside day tactics, and I've got AMD pulled up here because it was an inside day yesterday, and it really gave some good moves today, right? So despite kind of overall on the daily chart didn't look really productive, but when we have an inside day, we can really kind of get into it on the day trading side and look for some intraday tactics, right? So let's take a look at AMD here and just kind of take a look at the daily chart, see what's going on, and everything. So let me pull this up here. So let's go. So monthly chart, right? Obviously green right here. Lots of mess right here as we do a lot of counts on this one. Pushing off of last week's green week. But the big thing on the excuse me, this is not AMD. Right, so inside week so far, but still a green month. Right, last week was a green, but an upper shadow on that one. And don't forget, we just pulled back recently on AMD after their acquisition news. Right, so they turned out that they're going to try to buy Xilinx. Right, so it's a big move on that one. Yesterday we had our inside day. Okay, so when we have an inside day, there's a couple things that we look at, right? So one of the tactics that we look at, of course, is a breakout, right? And a lot of times those breakouts, so they break out, give a little confirmation, we can take it long, right? That's one tactic right there. Another one, double inside day. That was a good example right here this day. Huge move off of that compression move, off of a nice, like we talked about the other day, nice impulsive gap up, and got some nice follow through off of that one. An inside day, gapped above it, reversed, right through the range. Right, so if you gap above the inside day, you can potentially 50% of the range is kind of a big number, right? So keep that in mind. 50% of the range is something that we look for as potential level of support. If we break down there, there's a good chance that we test the other side of the inside day. Okay, so those are kind of the main things, right? Breakout, gap above reverse, gap and go like we saw on the SPX. And then gap, and then open inside the range, right? And then just test the top of the range, fail, and go back around, right? And that is exactly what we saw on AMD today. So AMD with an inside day yesterday, and again, just trying to get above the cloud right here, a little bit of resistance up there. But let's take a look and see how it behaved here intraday today. So if we look at yesterday's levels, if we put up yesterday's highs and lows, these are essentially the inside day levels right here. So we got this. It's gonna be pretty close, and then here. And then what I want to do is I want to show 50% of the range. So I'm going to put like about there. It's about 50% of the range right there. Okay, so these are the kind of the main levels that we look at intraday when we're looking for inside day tactics, right? So the big move this morning is that the market was overall kind of blah, right? And so we didn't trust the initial breakout this morning. We wanted to see a confirmation above the inside day high with some volume, and we couldn't get that, right? We had an upper shadow right here, and you go to the 5-minute chart. Oh, let me that is the C12. Let me put that up here too. Just because it's pretty valuable. Okay, so the 5-minute chart definitely didn't confirm above there initially. So what do we do, right? So this is the so what we do is if we fail to break over the inside day high, there's a high probability that we test inside the range, potentially all the way through the inside day range. But we use 50% as the first target point, right? And so here, what we can see is we had a nice upper shadow off the 5-minute chart, and it brought us down to 50% of the range. This is a good area to look for support and potential continuation back up. It gave a good dip buy here today, right? So we had a nice move here, a good candle right here, and we pushed back up again to get to the top of the range. So what it was telling us is that now, because what is it saying? What is an inside day saying? It's showing indecision. It doesn't know which way it wants to go, right? If something knows which way it wants to go, right, it breaks over the prior day's highs, prior day's highs, right, prior day's lows. It's telling us, which way it's moving. But when you go inside, right, there's a lot of indecision in here, right? There's a lot of just choppy price action, right? So that inside day is really important to look for breakouts and moves, but having these extra tactics on it makes it really, really helpful, right? So let's take a look here again. So we failed to break out into the inside day high. We pushed back down. We bounced off the 50% line, right? And then we failed again, right? So, but it didn't push down anymore, right? So still basically holding the 80 MA, and it tried one more breakout right here. So this is what we talk about a buy and a retrace, right? So this time it looked like it was trying one more time to break out. This is a perfect area to look for a buy, right? So we got a nice lower shadow here off of the prior inside day high with a strong candle, and that pushed up nicely, right? So 85.37 all the way up to 86.70, which is 86.11, which is a nice move, right? So if you go to the 85 calls on AMD, just here off of this candle at 10:35, so you got .AMD 20 calls, and just look at the 85 calls off that 10:35 candle. Right, today you can see it's still a very nice trade, right? So off the 10:35 candle, an entry right here, $1.82, right? These went up to like $2.16. That's a nice move, right? Even if you took profit right here, it's still a good 20-30 cent move off of that one. That's that could pay some bills, right? So that's a nice move off of that one. So then what happened? What happened with AMD today? So that's good. Okay, so AMD continued to work its way back up. Now we've got to go to the daily chart and see what it's up to here. So it's trying to push out of the cloud right here, but it's failing, right? So at this point now, right, we want to look and see, how it's behaving. So what did we get today? We got a big shooting star candle, right, with increased volume, right? So at that point here, we're like, okay, at the very least, right, it probably wants to test the inside day high one more time, and then maybe we'll get some follow through. We also, in our group, we've got some intraday targets, some magnet levels that we look at for these to get to, and these actually hit our targets right here off of the short area, held it with a higher high, and then pushed its way back out one more time. So what else can we do, right? So this reversal right here. So we saw a nice shooting star up here. Well, let's go to the 5-minute chart. Let's actually go to the 1-minute chart and see what's happening here. We're going to tie together some tools that we've talked about recently on a couple of the recent series that we've done. Okay, so we ground our way up today. So there's a couple ways to look at this reversal right here. So we're going to combine a couple different things. We're going to add our RSI studies. We're going to look for bearish divergence, right? So if we're expecting a reversal back down, if we're losing momentum right here, right? So on this way up, right, we had declining volume, right, on the way up. That's a little bit concerning that the breakout might be wearing out, right? So let's pull up the RSI here and take a look and see if we can find any bearish divergence, and lo and behold, we did, right? So pretty cool stuff. So we had a push here from this high right here. So we had a high to high, right there to there, right? So we had a increasing price, right? But we also had a lower high here on the RSI. So you can see here, just kind of stretch it out a little bit. Right, you can kind of see that the angle here is down, and we just tagged the overbought level, and that ended up giving a good indication that this thing was ready to go down. So a couple other things that we like to do, if you don't want to just try it, sometimes it's hard to top tick a stock. So a lot of times we like to look for confirmation, but we did get a nice, pretty strong move down right here on the 1 minute. So that would imply to us that the wave is over, right? And it might be working on a potential impulsive wave down, right? So what we do is we put a trend line here, right? We've talked about this before, and we could put a trend line on our RSI. And if we get a confirmation breakdown below both the upward trend line right here and the upward trend line in the RSI, that's a good indication that this thing might want to go lower. So even if you don't top tick it, there's still an opportunity to get in here. Okay, well, it's breaking down here off an inside one, right? So you get this little move right here. But what about this, right? Is that you move stops? Well, yeah, you can make a little profit off of that one. But here, it would never stopped out that inside one, which is a good thing. But one of the things I like to do as well is when looking at Elliott Wave, one of the things that I like to look at is are the bar charts, right? So we have so this move right here. It's easier to count waves with bar charts, in my opinion. So what do we have? We had a nice impulsive move down right here, right? And so what does that do? That gives us a indication that, hey, let's look for a retrace on this thing. If we miss the initial breakdown, let's see if we can get in on a retrace, right? So here's your wave one, right? And here's your retrace right here. Let's go. Let's pull this up on the. Let's pull this up here with the Fibonacci's, right? So you can do the highs, you go to here, right? So nice retracement right there, right off of the, it's a short range, but right between the 382 and the 50% retrace right here. So what that tells us is this is very likely a wave 2 area. And the 618 would be great. Didn't quite get there. That's fine, right? We see a little ABC type move right here, ABC, right? And then we start to move down. So if we can't catch the top, well, the least we could do is look for a retrace off of this, and we think this thing is going to pull back to at least test the inside day high, right? And then from there, we can look and see if this thing is ready to do an impulsive wave down, which it is, right? So we had a 1, 2, boom. We got a nice 3 right here. Let's just call this 3 here. Okay, so right off this, A, B, C. So we had a nice 3 move off of that one. Wave 4 right there. Right, and then finished off with the wave 5 to get pretty close to the 50% level again. It was a higher low. It gave you an inside one, right? So that's kind of telling you that things are calming down a little bit, and then it started to work its way up off of that. So again, stops could easily be moved here to this pivot right here if you just want to see if it can go any farther, or you can just kind of say, okay, well, if it breaks above that inside one, I'm out. Right, that type of thing. So here, entry potentially off of the top of the 2, but if you still don't feel comfortable buying this one, we had another nice inside one to bring it down. And if you really want to, you can throw in an exponential moving average on here. So we like the ADMA for intraday trades. It always helps us with trend, right? So if we get that on here, right, just wait till we close back below it again here. And it did it actually off of the inside one. So it could have got in anywhere over here. And then we just rode the ADMA down through these levels right here. Upper shadows off of this one, and then just continued to work its way down. And when we closed above the ADMA, it was pretty close to where the stop would have been anyway. And boom, take profit here. Take profit here wherever you want to, but again, if the wave is moving and it's countable, right? That's some potential right here. So anyway, this could have been thought of as a wave 3. This could have been wave 4. That could have been thought of as a wave 5. But it looks like it did have more in it. So there's nothing wrong with keeping stops here above the inside day high. It stayed below it and then worked its way down. So that's basically it in a nutshell here on doing the inside days. There's a couple other tactics that we talk about in some prior videos, things like that. But one of the main things that we look for in the inside days is, one, is it going to break out? If it is going to break out, which it did at one point, let's look for a retrace to see if we can take it. Right. Two, look to see if it doesn't break above it. Look to see if it's going to come back here. You got a nice upper shadow at the open to pull back and test 50% of the range, which it did here. Right. And if it still looks like it's not going to break out above it, we can pull up other indicators like the bearish divergence right here. Potentially assume that the top is in right here. Also look for tailwinds on the market. Right. Another thing you can do is, if you have your if you have another chart pulled up, one of the things you can simply do is just pull up the Nasdaq. Right. So even the NDX here probably would be sufficient. So what I'm going to do here is just add a study. I'm going to add the just let's compare with the NDX and see how it looks right here. Right. So when we look over that, right, we can see the NDX was kind of topping out here as well. It started to push down here too to help give us confirmation that, hey, maybe this is running with the market here today. So another helpful tool as well to help gauge the entry on this short. So again, bearish divergence, breakdown of the upward trend line, and then Elliott wave to help ride the wave down, and also look for a potential entry, and then the confirmation here off the inside one under the 80 MA on the 1 minute chart, and you saw how it rode that down throughout the day. So really cool stuff. So hopefully you guys found that helpful. And at this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll try to get through as many as we can, and of course wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff, guys. I really appreciate everybody tuning in here. Give me 1 second. Let's pull up the daily charts and see what we got going on out there. So Umesh, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're doing well. So we got a few out there. So let's take a look at Tesla. Let's see how Tesla's looking here today. So Tesla, kind of the big thing right now is this kind of this 450 level, right? So it's poking its head above this geometric line right now. So that 450 is showing a little bit of resistance. So see if we can pop above there today. Again, decreasing volume, but maybe Tesla will even try to give an earnings run on this one. DKNG, pretty cool stuff. Paul, who was on with us the last 2 nights, and he'll be with us again tomorrow. Things that it might be done here with the zigzag move, and trying to confirm above a little bit right here to see if it's ready to start an impulse wave up right here. This could have been a wave 1 up, wave 2, and we could see if it tries to impulse up going into tomorrow. So that's something there. One of the ones I'm looking at, of course, is a potential retest of the low right here in case this does break down. If it does, one of the corrective moves we talked about yesterday was zigzag, right? A lot of times the zigzags have similar waves, right? Is this one? So it could still work its way all the way down here until it ultimately finds support. Then it would actually probably chop around for a while before going again. Key area for this to hold right here around the 46 level. So let's see how that holds there too. Good stuff. Docu. So DocuSign, pretty interesting right here. This one got, I think it had some news on it. I guess it's more like stay-at-home stuff. I thought I heard something else on it today. I guess it had Morgan Stanley upgraded DocuSign a couple days ago. Yeah, there was some sort of news on it. I thought after hours, but yeah, there was something here going on today. Yeah, I got some sort of news here. I can't remember. Somebody's using them or something like that, but it's gapping up a little bit after hours. So let's see if that continues to work its way above the cloud here. Over 243 would be a nice gap up. If it holds that cloud, let's see if it can hold on that one. Zoom, of course, nice move on that one here today. It's up a little bit after hours. Strong move, finally breaking out of the bull flag. And like we talked about yesterday, it was actually a triangle move to Elliott wave, right? So, again, wave 1, 2, 3, right? 4, right? And or actually, this is like 3, 4, and then it's working on potentially a wave 5 up. So let's see if that can continue to work its way back up and get over those highs on Zoom. CRWD. Okay, so CRWD, great move today. This is actually one of the strongest ones at the open today. This gave a great move, great volume right here. Nasty pullback intraday, but it did bounce off of the 15-orb high, and it's continuing up after hours there on that one too. So a nice move there too. LVGO. LVGO, decent breakout candle right here. Decent volume finally, right? Looks like it got over this guy right here. It looks like it was triangulating a bit here too. So this may be actually working on a pretty decent move up here. So it finally got a push out of that one. So look for maybe another push, a pull back, and then see if we can keep going on that one. And then FSLY. Again, this thing is it's a tough one to keep down. We looked at this one last night. Decent push right here, good impulsive move up. Possibly a pullback right here. See if it retests those levels and where it goes from there. It's good stuff. Yeah, Umesh, yeah, my pleasure. Mike, what's going on? Good evening, good to see you. So it feels like it's even bullish on down days. I know, exactly. Just we call it pre-bullish. It's not bearish, it's pre-bullish. So we got that going on. So yeah, let's say hello to Google. So Google didn't it get like tight for a little bit? Let's see what it did here today. Yeah, so inside day had a decent breakout candle yesterday. I like how a lot of these inside days closed in the upper end of the range, guys. JP Morgan kicked off earnings season today. It actually beat on earnings and revenue. It didn't really move much on it, but that's kind of a good sign. So let's see if these tech names can work on another earnings run here. So see how it handles that inside day. See how it handles those tactics tomorrow. So that could be a fun one. All right, so we got some from email from Shirley. Again, everybody, thanks for keeping Shirley in your thoughts and prayers as she continues to do better every day. So Roku, what a day today, right? So inside day the other day, right? So what did that do on that inside day? Right, so you just kind of go back right to the inside day, right? And that was 2 days ago here, right? So you can see off the inside day range, failed to break to the upside, right? We're just way down to 50% of the range, right? And then held the lows, we're just way back up to 50% of the range, right? So, and then today, after all the compression, right, gave a big breakout in the morning, right? And this is one of our favorite trend day type setups right here. Nice triangle, inside 15, right at the 80 MA, and then just trended up for the rest of the day. Another compressed move right here to the 80 MA, right, and worked its way up. Just a beautiful, beautiful move today on Roku. So we'll see if we get some follow through. This thing's been on a rampage, and who knows how high it wants to go. But it's definitely won some Wall Street darling type status there this week. So good stuff there. Williams Sonoma, so that got a move today. I think they ended up consolidating some debt today or something like that. I think when they released the report, they consolidated some debt, things like that, trying to buy back some shares, increasing their dividend, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, but broke out of this really nice double bottom right here, nice W pattern, and got some follow through on that one today. So keep an eye on WSM, could be interesting. Walmart, a lot of the retail names got strong today. Walmart was strong, Target was strong for a little bit, Costco was strong. All right, a couple of those names. Home Depot was strong in the open. So decent strength there today. Good volume on Walmart. Let's see if I get some follow through on that one. PD. Not one typically that I would trade right here, but it is a nice move. It's coming out through the cloud right here, and let's see if that gets some follow through on that one. And of course, KHC. Okay, so Kraft Heinz is a tough one. Not a momentum name, but it acted like a little bit today. A strong candle right here. It's heading right to the 50-day moving average. So just a little bit of caution to that if it finds a little resistance right there. So good stuff. Thanks, Shirley. Thanks so much. Geo, what's going on? Netflix. Guys, 8 reversal days in a row. All right? Green, red, green, red, green, red inside day, green, red, green. I mean, just been all over the place. Very, very tough to swing with options, right, on the burn, but it is finally working its way up a little bit. It gave a great breakout today. I mean, really, really tough stuff. It was a tight angle right here, but it did push above it. There was a 5-minute candle right here, which is where we would have gone long on it here. Members did take this one. I did not. But this was a nice candle right here to go long off of, right? And then you can just kind of trail the 5-minute candles up on that one. That thing was ready to break out with that volume there today. So nice stuff there. Decent candle right here. The only concerns that I have, right, is that it's kind of running into potential resistance right here. Could be a reverse cup and handle type pattern, or it may decide to do a couple more reversals and all that stuff, give you another cup pattern, and then try to work its way back up to all-time highs. So Netflix can be tricky with that. Sometimes it does like to reject those highs. Good stuff. Let's take a look at SE. Okay, so SE still just kind of plowing its way up the channel right here. It's kind of riding up the 80 MA up the channel. So let's see if that can get some continuation on that one. And then Snow. Snow had like multiple upgrades yesterday. Couldn't hold on to it, right? Gapped up pretty decently reversed. So inside day today, let's see how it holds it there. I really haven't messed with this name at all, but really just kind of chopping around in its crazy IPO range, right? So we got that going on. Numo, what's going on? BAC, yeah, so BAC got slammed today with JP Morgan. They do have earnings coming up on this one, so that's going to be tomorrow morning on Bank of America, so that should be interesting. Actually, that reminds me, let me get tomorrow's game plan kind of started here a little bit. Give me 1 second. So we've got today is, it's so much stuff. Hold on. All right, there we go. All right, so we got Tuesday right there. Let's get Wednesday. Oh my goodness, it's tomorrow Wednesday already? Wow. Okay, so we got that Wednesday. Let's see. So we got these there today. So we got this one. We got Bank of America. We probably got some other ones going on there too. Roku was a quick short at the open. That was about it from yesterday. Netflix, we'll see how it holds those levels. We'll keep Zoom on the radar for sure, and can keep an eye on that FSLY too. That's pretty interesting too. If Zoom goes up, FSLY would probably move in tandem. So we'll see how that goes there. So good stuff. Yeah. So Bank of America. Let's see how it handles on earnings tomorrow, and where it goes from there. So Suya, what's going on? Netflix, great job on that one today. Let's see how that goes. What it's up to here. So it's pulled back a little bit after hours. Again, the big concern, right, is that resistance level here on the daily chart, which we mentioned there this morning, right? So it's kind of a little bit flat here after hours. Let's see how it holds. It could be kind of like interpreted as potential bull flag going into the pre-market session. So let's see how that goes there. But again, it's been prone to like reversal so far. So 8 days in a row of a reversal. So we got that going on. Apple with its Apple is an event today, right? So Apple's pretty fun, right? We shorted this one at the open today, gave a nice short at the open, ended up giving a 786 retrace and some more crazy action intraday on this one today. So we'll see how it goes. It might get some upgrades tomorrow. It might get going again. Again, tech's been really super strong, so let's see if they try to buy the dip off of that one as it's holding its daily gap. Tesla, again, 450 is going to be a key level for it to try to get above right there. I do like how it's poking its head above this geometric level with a little bit of strength, so needs some volume to get going, right? But it did give a couple good dip buys today. Amazon, inside day, I believe, that closed in the upper shadow of its range, right? So it ended up closing up a little bit today, but not a lot of, pretty epic run over the last couple days. So again, it's up there, it's holding trend. Again, see how it holds that inside day tomorrow, and if it wants to break out, break down, or kind of do one of those fun reversals on it. So good stuff there. ZEK, what's going on? Let's take a look at Intel. Let's take a look. So Intel, right, was starting to work its way up into its gap the other day, and it's just kind of doing reversal type stuff here. Let's see how it handles the top of its daily cloud. If it can get and close above that, might be some more potential on Intel. Net. Wow, big move on that one. Incredible move yesterday, and great follow through the highs on that one. So let's see if that can continue to have strength. Great find there. TSM, a lot of folks asking about this one again. Big supplier for Apple, and also inside day. So again, we'll see what it does tomorrow. It's an ADR, so it could gap one way or the other. But definitely holding the 8 day and looking like it's holding trend there. And the NEM. So probably saw gold down a little bit for today, but it ended up rallying right there. Keep an eye on the dollar, right? So if the dollar gets weak tomorrow, maybe gold will start to pick up, help out the miners a little bit right here. So kind of looking like a triangle right there. Just kind of see which way it goes. Could be a bear pennant, right? Just a little bit of caution on that one. Ankit, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Rosalind, what's going on? Roku, big breakout, big push candle today to all-time highs. Again, tough to chase right here. It's been just trending up recently. So a couple pause days yesterday. Yesterday was looking like potential bearish engulfing candle. Followed through a little bit, but they defended the gap. Right, so that's a big candle right there with some good volume today. So let's see if that can hold and where it goes from there. Tesla, again, 450 is going to be the key level on that one to see if we can get some volume over there. See if we get some move. LVGO, again, still decent candle right there. A little bit of an upper shadow, but I like how it broke over that top of the triangle, that B part of the triangle right there. So that's looking pretty good. And then Zoom with a nice finally getting out of that triangle bull flag range right there. So good stuff there. And then Delay, what's going on? So you got Zoom. Yep, same thing. So again, great candle today. Let's see if that gets some follow through, and hopefully dips will be pliable going into that one. Rosley, you also got D-Dog. Yep, D-Dog really strong. Took an inside day up today. That was a nice one at the open. PayPal. Yep, looking pretty good right there. A little decreased volume on it, but a nice candle. PayPal can be a tricky one to trade. Lulu. Let's say a Lulu. So Lulu, yeah, still kind of working its way back up right here. Again, broke out of its declining. It's downward trend right here, ABC, and just got it sort of 1, 2, right? And then just kind of working on its impulse wave up, like we've been talking about here this week. Really, really great stuff. Malcolm, what's going on? Zoom again. Yeah, everybody liking some Zoom here. Nice little breakout candle on that one. Again, one of the things that we talked about, guys, last night, if you guys didn't catch the video, be sure to check the recording on that one. One of the things that Algo Paul was talking about yesterday was the potential, right, for this to be a kind of a zigzag retrace right here, right? So he was talking about this as an A, right? So here, A, B, C, and then he was saying after that was complete, right, that we would look for an impulsive move up, and that really kind of played out really nicely today, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, never intersected the start of wave 1, boom, wave 5 up, right? So now let's see if that does. It might correct a little bit. Tomorrow might pause a little bit, but then look for some potential bullish moves off of that one. So nice stuff there. Geo Shop. Shopify, inside day today. So let's see what that does tomorrow. See if we can break out of that range and maybe give a little bit of a move on that one. Again, keep an eye on Shop. It's a little bit tricky. Spreads can be a little bit nutty on it, right? So Malcolm Dell. Okay, yeah, nice gap up there today. Kind of spinning top. I'm amazing to see Dell like even in business, but it's hanging in there. So nice gap up there with a spinning top. See if we can break out over those highs tomorrow. Workhorse. Michael, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, Workhorse. So the Heartbreaker. The Heartbreaker. So again, guys, we always got to be careful with Workhorse. I say it all the time, right? So this thing is it kind of did its thing, right? It broke out of the G-Mitch. It gave you 1 day. It gave you a gift horse day yesterday and left with a nasty upper shadow yesterday, right? So it's a nasty one, right? Big volume, right? Got followed through the downside on that one out, held these levels, bounced off of these levels right here, so it's gonna be a key area for it to try to hold. But again, no income on this thing, so caution, right? So Michael, are you in Paul Wizards? I know, right? Spells and stuff like that. So I love it. So it's good stuff. I feel like we should tweet out like some Gandalf gifts and stuff like that. So sale really nice on that one. Umesh, yeah, good candle on that one. Decent volume on. I like how it broke over the recent turning point pivot high. Pets. Let's see. So pets. A little bit of pullback there off the inside day, but it seems to have held the lows. So see how that holds right there. Okay on that one. Chewy has been pretty strong recently, so we got that one off of the iBuy. Overstock as well, also on the iBuy. That one gave a little bit of a dip buy today, and still kind of compressing right here, but could still be working on a. It hasn't outweighed the flag length yet, so still could be working on a bear flag. Right, so just something to be concerned about right there. Let's see if we can break out one way or the other. Over the 50-day with some volume, and over the cloud could be good. Break down below here could be nasty. Right, so let's keep an eye on that one. So good stock. Michael swung short last night. Nice job. Did Apple have a subwave today? Yeah, probably. Right. So we had a big breakout today, right? Yesterday. Just an incredible move right there. So today's very, very likely a pullback on that one, right? So one of the things you can look at here is this breakout here. We got out of this nice little triangle range yesterday, right? So this could be wave one. This could easily be wave two. The move here, just even from this breakout, even from here, right? So we're right at a 382 on that one. If it gets into the gap, you're looking at a 618. If you just go with this pivot right here, right, we're looking right at a 50% retrace of those levels. So it seems to be defending the gap right there. Finished with an inside 60, giving us a 60 anchor to finish the day. So let's see what that gives us tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if they bought it up tomorrow. So we can see how that goes. Nice, 618. We love it. So good stuff, guys. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening. I hope you guys enjoyed the Inside Day tactic discussion. Tomorrow we'll be back at it one more time to look at Elliott Waves with Algo Paul. And if you guys like it, I think we're probably going to start doing a regular Sunday show with Algo Paul on it and just kind of do like some Elliott Wave stuff, see what kind of things are setting up into the week. Because I mean, a lot of the stuff he put out there the other day was incredibly helpful. One, he put out Zoom yesterday, which gave some great follow through. But he also put out Facebook the other day. It's like it was starting an impulsive wave up, and it just launched yesterday, which is really, really incredible. So he's rocking it in the private Twitter. So anyway, good stuff, guys. Elliott Wave forever. I know exactly. One last one, Umesh. Etsy. And, one last two. Well, let's see. So one last request, right? So Etsy. Yeah, not bad today. Up 4% today. Good candle. Fresh all-time highs on it. I mean, just amazing stuff on that one. Unity Software, brand new IPO. Hanging in there, right? So inside day here, see how it holds the ADMA and where it goes from that. The double inside day up was perfect on that one if you've been tracking it. So that was one of the ones we talked about after IPOs. If you get a double inside day after an IPO, you're likely to get a move on the breakout on those. So good stuff, guys. Anyway, really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure if you're new here to click subscribe on YouTube, and whether you're new here or not, please hit the like button. It goes a long way. Even if you're checking out the recording, those like buttons are really, really encouraging. So I hope everybody has a great rest of your evening and get some good rest. And we'll see you guys bright and early on YouTube with the Good Morning Market Prep video. And stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.